Hey everybody, welcome back to the AfterLife SMP server, Season 2. Today's episode, guys, is episode 40, and you know what that means. Those of you guys that watched last episode know exactly what this means. Today, I am doing a world tour of the AfterLife SMP server. In shaders! What do you know? I've never used shaders on camera, actually, but I decided today because, you know what, it's a special episode. Why not use some shaders? And I run shaders fairly well from what it seems like, so I think this will be an all right day to do some shaders. I'm using, by the way, the shaders that I'm using, if I can go this way, if I can go into my escape options and video settings, those of you wondering, I'm using Silda's Vibrant Shaders V version 1.163 Lite. This is the one that works the best for recording, and it's the one that I'm going to be using. So guys, without further ado, with our beautiful shaders on, let's go ahead and get on into this tour. Fair warning, a lot of this stuff may not be in 60 FPS. I'm going to try to render the video at 60 FPS, but I'm not getting 60 right now, so who knows. But let's start this tour right where it all began. Where I'm standing right now is basically where we all spawned in. And the very first recording, if you go back to episode 1 of Season 2, the very first group recording started right here around this pond. That's Hutchie's spawn house. He did a little thing with this, which I'm very happy that he did, but made things look absolutely beautiful around here. But this is where it all started. Funny thing about where this started as well, we actually did a recording of this before. The take that you guys see in the first episode is actually the second take, because we did a take before that. Things did all right, but then Jay realized that, you know, he didn't have the recording, and it's pretty important for everyone to have the group recording, or as many people to have the group recording at the very beginning as possible. So we ended up restarting. We didn't get off to the best of starts anyways. We got off to a decent start, but not the best of starts, so we just ended up redoing it, resetting the world and going again, I guess you could say, having a second take at it. So we went into that, but I'm gonna leave the actual spawn town area for later. I want to go ahead along this beautiful pathway, head on back to over here. So this area over here, many of you may not know, but the name of this place is Pickles and Cheese Village. So in the very first episode, after we all got together, we headed on over to this village. This was originally just a regular NPC village that you normally find in plains biomes and things like that. And we decided to make it our own. We decided to transform the village houses into our own little houses. So as you can see, this one's the same, but we head in here. This is the Nether portal where we first went through. This is Duke's. Everyone who started season 2 had the ability to have their own village house. So this is Duke's house. Pretty cool place, right? Down here he has a little bit of storage, I think. Yeah, this is his starter storage area. He had a bit of crops down here, some beginner crops. So nothing major, but it helped out a lot in the very beginning stages, especially because I believe he was one of the only ones with melons. Over here is a barn that I made a lot later. My horse is still here. This horse is actually pretty good, I think. Yeah, this horse is pretty decent, but that's my horse. These are the stables that I made for the area, because when we first started off the season, pretty much everybody was using horses. So we decided to go ahead and, well, I decided to go ahead and make this little stable right here. We kept a lot of the crop farms, as many as we could. Even down there, you'll see that we transformed some of them and started some storage for them. But right here is Night Fox's House of Awesomeness. This was his starter house. Pretty cool. I really liked it. He, of course, had a little, I think, mine down there, a little bit of storage right there. And he has, oh no. That was bad. Can I not get up here? Oh, the ladder's over there. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. Yeah, I think he had a bed, he had a crafting table up here and things like that. So nothing actually, is the bed even up here? Yeah, the bed's right here. You just can't see it. Actually, I'll redo it because of things, because of the update. We haven't been to this Pickles and Cheese Village since the 1.12 update with all the colored beds and stuff. This was Hutchie's humble home. He wasn't here at the very beginning of season 2, but he came in maybe like a week or 2 afterwards, so he got his own little house as well. Very well decorated. I think he has a bit of a smelting area down here. Head up here. A lot of these houses are gonna have the same functions because obviously they, you know, were all created around the same time. Of course, his bed is the same. He has a little bit of storage there as well. Pretty cool house. And of course, because he's Scottish, had to have those Scottish flags. So really cool. Over here we have the crop farms. Pretty cool, pretty nice. We'll head around over there in a second. I was originally gonna build my house here, right here, but I decided against it. It was blocking an entrance, and I just didn't think I would have enough room. someone over there. But before we get there, this is Dragonfrost's house. Dragonfrost took the church that was a part of here, and he made it into his own. He's got a few supplies in here. He never really did anything else with the top. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did a bit of like battlements up here or something. Pretty cool though. Pretty happy with how he turned out there, and he added some carpet and whatnot. Pretty cool interior. Now here, this is White's wondrous village home here in the Pickles and Cheese village. Over here, so I have my first armor, I think is right here. Yep, this is my first armor set. This is just a regular iron armor set. A few things in here, a little bit of a bed, nothing too major though. So I'm not too happy with this build anymore. I mean, the site's okay, but I could do a lot better now. But then we have this. So there was originally, I think Blondskunk planted this tree in the middle or something like that. But this is Blondskunk's tree, and he decided to make a tree house, which I think that this is the best village house that we have. Honestly, he has some really cool storage down here. I think his bed is somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. He originally made this village tree house. Then he made an extension over here. I think he has a bit of a diving board or something right there. If we head around this way, you'll see that, yeah, you can just drop down. There's a ladder right here. Drop down all the way down here. So pretty cool build. Pretty happy with it. This is our original AfterLife bulletin board to show all the coordinates where places are. We'll go to a few of these before we head out spawn and whatnot, just to show off some of the bases. But yeah, originally the original ice spikes. We have Hutchie's village, which we're gonna go to today, and a bunch of other places. Mighty Mount Dragonfrost, stuff like that. Over here was the first enchantment setup, enchanted books, lapis, things like that. I did a lot of my original enchanting over here. This was very useful. This is very useful indeed. We did also keep all the villagers from this village. I think a few might have died, but we tried to keep all of them. And there are a few brown coats. So we could have made a villager breeder from this, but these are the original villagers. These are the original Pickles and Cheese villagers where everything started. And then we have two of the houses that were kind of, well, I mean, this one was completed from the beginning, but this one wasn't completed until the very end. To the left, we have Zyroverse's house. Let's go inside here. He was also the one, I believe. Yeah, he had like a few crops down here, and this actually leads to the what do you call it? The train station area, the minecart station, whatever you want to call it. That Duke ended up building later on. But around here, yeah, around here we have Jay's house. Now Jay went ahead and spent a lot of time working on this. He actually made a basement to this as well. If we head down here. Made a little basement area. Looks pretty cool. Added some storage chests. I don't think there's anything in here now, but overall it was a pretty cool build. I was pretty happy with what he did with this. Head up here. And actually, Jay, where's your bed? Jay, do you have a bed in here? I'm sure he probably does. Yeah, let's sleep right there. It is nighttime, so let's go ahead and sleep through the night. And here we have our original little cow pens. We have a cow pen here. I think we had a sheep pen, maybe a pig pen. Actually, this was a chicken pen, wasn't it? Yeah, it still has a chicken in it. Pretty cool stuff. This started off pretty well. The only problem that we had with this is that, especially the sheep, they were getting suffocated in the wall somehow. I have no idea how they were getting pushed. I guess they were pushing each other into the wall. So that was one of the problems that we had with that to begin with. But overall, I guess it wasn't too terrible. But we're gonna go ahead now, head on this way. You can see some of these signs. Fort Duke, Mountain Dragonfrost, and Hutchie's Village. We'll actually come back to visit those because those are more base areas. I actually think that we're going to go over to the spawn chunks first. Or not the spawn chunks, but the spawn area first before we go anywhere else. But down here, this was the very first XP farm that we had. We searched for hours trying to look for an actual skeleton farm. But what we ended up finding down here was a spider farm. And you can see spider eyes, a whole bunch of spider eyes. This was used a lot on the server. Basically what happens is the spawner still in there. Yep, the spider spawn. Typical spider spawner. They come down here. Sometimes they get stuck, but they're supposed to rise up here, and you can just kill them right here. There are hoppers down there. Is this chest full of stuff? Yeah, this chest has some like string and whatnot. I don't know why it has bones and stuff in it, but I guess it does. So that was kind of a thing. And I don't remember who made this inside, but yeah, as you can see, the spider head on the top. Pretty cool little thing. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, da 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 da. Alright, so now I want to head this way. And as you'll come to see, over there is Night Fox's place. We'll go visit that as well. We'll come back for a lot of this stuff, but I want to show you guys where I started. So A few of these trees we actually planted to get some wood to begin with, but where I started was over here. I decided I wanted a little home away from home. Of course, we had that village, and a lot of people just stayed in the village. But I wanted my own mine shaft area to go for my own digging, things like that, because we didn't have a community mine shaft. So there's a little pathway that heads this way over to my mine shaft. Now this event eventually became some place where anybody could come if they wanted to go ahead and and have their go mining or something like that. I ended up coming back with somebody else. I think it was Duke later on, and we went ahead and fixed his mine up a little bit. As you can see, this is obviously not how it started, but it was pretty cool. So this is a lot of my original storage. I actually made my village home a little later than most people, so this is one of the first places where I actually had storage. Obviously, my village home doesn't have storage in it. But yeah, this is where I spent most of my beginning weeks, beginning month, whatever it was. And even down here into the mine shaft, you'll see that we did a lot of work around here. We had a lot of, I spent a lot of time in this mine shaft digging for diamonds. That's how I, started on my quest for diamonds and whatnot. So I went ahead and yeah, there's a few things in here. Usually there were torches in there, but I guess not right now. So that's it for the mine shaft though. Let's go ahead and I think that's it for around the Pickles and Cheese area. We'll head back, like I said, for some of the base areas. So let's go ahead and head on over to the meat of this season, and that is the season 2 spawn area. Isn't this path just awesome coming from that village over to here? I love it, and it's especially well complemented with this bridge. So this bridge was a bridge NightFox built. This was, I think, the first bridge on the server. He did an awesome job with it. I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. Then it brought us into the spawn area. Now before we get over there, I want to show you guys this. This was built a lot later in the season. I love this pathway design right here. Beautiful use of the terracotta blocks. Is it terracotta? It's the stained terracotta, the textured terracotta, whatever it is. This is a flower farm that Boom Bang Crash built. And actually, yeah, it leads down here to the flower farm. And I believe this also, leads to a tunnel that might end up going to his super secret crash cave, but we may end up showing that off today. We may not. I don't know. Definitely check out his channel, though, because he's one of the members that is still around. I know that there have been a lot of members who have come and gone, but Boom Bang Crash is still around. Very pleased with what he's done here, so definitely check out his channel. Link is in the description below. But now we get into it. Now we get into the spawn area. So we decided to... Over in Pickles and Cheese Village, a lot of the reason we decided to make a village over there was also because we weren't entirely certain what we wanted to do with the spawn area and how it was going to be laid out. So the basic premise of this area is that there's an island over a lake in the middle, where the island is where the town hall is. The town hall, as you can see, is up there. That's where we actually started today's episode at. But we decided to break things in half. So this half on this side of the lake is the residential area, and that side is the commercial area. So let's go ahead and get started with the residential area. This is Hutchie's house. It's his typical style. I'm pretty happy with what he did with this. It looks very, very awesome. Of course, it's Hutchie. Of course, it looks awesome. Over here, we have a map that I believe Duke built. Yeah, he built a map of the area. A lot of it needs updated still. We haven't updated it in a while, but yeah, things look really, really cool. You can see a lot of what's happening around the spawn landscape. Over here, we have Dragonfrost's little humble abode. I believe this was a pagoda, is what it is. It's a pretty small interior. It was meant to just function well. Wasn't meant to be a big house, just meant to function well, and I think he nailed that. Actually, I want to head to the house, because there's only one more house over here. This house over here, if we can show it, this is Daniel Ludis's house. It's a pretty cool house. He made it out of birch, and I believe this is dark oak, which is an interesting combination. I wouldn't have thought of using that, but the interior is pretty well done, I would have to say. He has a little like bunk area up here, which is really, really cool. I think is his bed up here? I don't know, but he has a little bunk area up here that looks super, super duper awesome. Yeah, I think he has a double bed right there. Dang update makes it so I can't see things, but oh, and he also has down here. I won't go down here, but he has an AFK fish farm down there, which is super, super cool. He was the one that ended up making the bookstore that we have on the server over in the commercial district with a lot of the books that he found in that fishing area. Now, if we head this way, by the way, I should probably talk about this as well. This is the park area that separates a lot of the houses and stuff from the lake area. And I think that this looks spectacular. There was the park team, I believe it was Dragonfrost, Duke, and NightFox, I believe, were all the ones that worked on this. I don't know if there was anyone else or if I include anybody that wasn't there or anything like that, but they did a fabulous job, and I'm really happy with the separation that it kind of puts it into the city area. So as we walk up here, we can go across a couple of houses. This is Boom Bang Crash's monument little house area. He did a little bit of a different take on a spawn house, and I really like really like what he did here. Obviously, we're on the AfterLife server, so the joke is that you're in the afterlife. So here rose the spirit of Boom Bang Crash. I love what he did with that. This is also the monument he had from his first ABBA victory, where he beat myself and Daniel Ludus, which is pretty cool. This is NightFox's modern house. He had a really interesting take on modern houses, and I feel like that this is a very unique house. We'll go through it a little bit. I really love the interior of this place. The second floor looks awesome. Well done to NightFox. I'm very pleased personally with how, I'm really pleased with everything that's on the server, but especially that. And we head down here to some crossroads. So that's gaming because this house, pretty simple looking house. We go inside, pretty simple interior. He has some chests up top. Nothing too major. But then we head on over this way. And this way, this was the big build of Season 2 residential area. This is Duke Flats. Now, Duke Flats is basically an apartment complex. I don't know if it ever got finished, but when Duke was on the server, he decided to build skyscrapers and have apartment complexes where people could rent out places. Yeah, I don't think any of these are really for sale anymore, but he did an absolutely fabulous job. And these are made out of snow and blue glass and spruce wood, I believe. And he did a fabulous job. I love how the rows tie in. There are 5 different towers, I believe, of varying sizes. Super cool area. I think, yeah, he only ended up making 4, but there is a 5th one over here where things he could have built a 5th one, but he ended up not building a 5th one, which is totally okay. So that's it for Duke Flats. I don't think anybody actually lives here, but it's a really cool place. And to add a little bit to the area, I think he ended up building a tennis court right here. This was actually the site, by the way, of one of the pranks on the server. All Out Jay and I pranked Duke when he was, because last summer, I believe, he went on a bunch of vacations, went to a bunch of beaches and whatnot. So we ended up pranking him with that. So is there a bed up here, NightFox? Do you have a bed? I hope you do. Yeah, you do. All right, slept and all that stuff, and then we're gonna head on over to, I guess, my house. So this is my house. Not the best build, but it's decent for a spawn house. I was trying to do something a little bit different. A lot of people said that this was like, I always thought of it as like a gate or something, or like a gatehouse, something like that, with the 2 turrets and whatnot. So it wasn't bad. White's Wondrous Home. Have a few beds in here. A lot of you guys have seen this, chests and whatnot. So not a bad starter home, but definitely not the best, because as we go over here, this spawn home is pretty spectacular. This is Blonde Skunk's house. He originally built a house on a hill. You can see it sort of up there. He originally built a house on a hill, but then he ended up later on the season building this spawn house. And I don't think he hasn't decorated it yet, but it's absolutely incredible. Well done to Blonde Skunk. He's kind of known as like the master builder on the server anyway, so did a fabulous job. Custom trees and everything over here. Pretty darn awesome. So then if we head on over here is Duke's house. Duke did an awesome little log cabin over here. The interior, I think he got some help from Blonde Skunk or somebody. I think it was Blonde Skunk, because Blonde Skunk has the BBC business where he does interiors and buildings and stuff like that. But yeah, Duke had a whole area over here. I've head through these doors, a little kitchenette area. I think if you head not through there, that's a chest area. Little loft up there. He also had an area, yeah, right here. He has an upstairs. I'm not gonna go through all the rooms. You can always check out the videos that he did on the server if you want to see those. But what's in here? This is the bed, okay. But he did an awesome job with this. I'm very happy with how the interior turned out as well. And then we get to what I believe is the last spawn house, if I'm remembering correctly. That is over here. This is All Out Jay's. Obviously, the prank is still here. Blonde Skunk pranked Jay with a head on top of his house. But this is All Out Jay's house. He just recently did a basement for it, I believe. But it's furnished pretty well. He's got a little TV room in here, family room, whatever. He's got a little kitchen area. You know, everything that you typically see in houses. And of course, he has his basement area down here. Very interesting color choice as well. Very interesting. So all in all, pretty good build. pretty good addition to the spawn house area. But I believe that is it for the spawn houses. Let's go ahead now and head to what I would say is probably the more populated area, and that is the commercial district over here. If we can, you know, get into the park so I can get across. And here we are in the commercial district. Beautifully well done. I'll try to describe all of these as best as I can, but this was probably the first thing that was built in the commercial district. This was the After Vaults, or Zyro Vaults as it was originally called. Everyone always says that this looks like a Magnemite from the Pokemon, you know, Magnemite. And down here, basically, it was a vault system, a bank system where you could input a key, and then you could get your... Actually, do I even have my key? I might have my key. I might be able to use this. Yeah, down here. So, do we not have an ender chest? Yeah, there we go. Grab an ender chest to put it on me. So, essentially, do I have it? There it is. So I have my white key. All of us on the server got a key, which we could put into here. When we put that key in, we have to wait a moment. Are you coming? I should see there we go. Then there's a minecart right here. It spits back out your key, and then you should be able to open this. There we go. Oh, I still have that in there from something else. I have diamonds in here, an extra set of armor, and 64 blocks of iron that I decided to put in there. Pretty cool system set up by Zyroverse. Pretty awesome. I think it was actually Seth Bling's design, Seth Bling's vault design, I believe, which is still pretty awesome. It was a pretty cool feature that I know at least I used towards the very beginning to store some stuff, some extra storage, things I wanted to have around the spawn area just in case I needed them. Now, we have a lot of shops in here. A lot of shops. This was just a regular, I think this was a cafe, like Cafe Duke. This never really sold anything, but it's a pretty cool build. I really wish that this thing had sold potions. That would have made a lot of sense, but it never really sold anything. Still a pretty awesome sandstone build. Uniquely made out of just sandstone and a few carpets, but made out of just sandstone and glass. You don't really see those in shopping areas anymore. It's pretty cool. Over here, we have Daniel's bookshop, which I ended up taking over afterwards. I populated this with a few of my books. Obviously, nobody's bought any, but I did decide to populate it after we got our AFK Fisher and whatnot. Now, this right here is what was Jack's Chicken Shack. It's refurbished by the BBC, and this was going to sell chicken. I don't think it ever reopened. There was originally Jack's Chicken Shack that sold nine stacks of chicken, 9 stacks of cooked chicken for 1 diamond. That's a pretty impressive sale right there. I couldn't blame those. I couldn't blame people for, you know, choosing this over what I think was always the better food shop. I'm totally not biased. White's Wondrous Food Court, or just White's Food Court, the food court, whatever, where I sold steak and I sold pork and I sold, you know, baked potatoes, and the goal was to fully stock this thing with pretty much every type of food. Never really got around to a lot of that, but that's all right. We've been selling a good portion of all the food that people want, and I've made a lot of money off this thing, to be honest. A lot of people bought steak, golden carrots, and pork and whatnot, so it was a pretty good sell. Now over here we have, I believe this was the crop shop, Hutchie's crop shop, where he sold a bunch of different crops, potatoes, carrots, you know, things like that. Pretty much your pretty standard but pretty cool looking crop shop. And then now over here was probably the shop that made the most money. That is the Shulker Box and Elytra shop that Jay opened. He's still selling a lot of Shulker Boxes, 6 diamonds per box. That's a heck of a steal for all the time that it takes, and 15 diamonds per Elytra. I think I bought a few Elytra and I bought a bunch of Shulker Boxes off of him because you can always use more Shulker Boxes. Believe me, you can always use more. Over here we have Crash's Fireworks Shop, Crash's Rocket Shop. Love this place. I accidentally griefed this place once as well. Not really griefed, but a creeper exploded in here. I guess it wasn't lit too much. Yeah, there's a block of glowstone in here that wasn't there before. There was a creeper in here and I didn't know it, and I exploded the shop. So that was a bit iffy, but this place sells firework rockets, and this is where I get all my firework rockets. This is where most people on the server get all their firework rockets, and I'm betting Crash has made a lot of money off of that shop. Now, if we head over here, this was the Elvenware, High Elven Tool, Weapon, and Armor Forge by Daniel Ludus. If we head down here, he sold a bunch of really awesome tools. I don't know if it's, oh no. Daniel! Why do you have a skeleton shooting me? Come on now. There we go. Yeah, he sold pretty good helmets and chest pieces and whatnot. Don't think that this shop is stocked. No, it's not. And this used to sell bows as well, but I think he took down a bunch of this in order to sell it and whatnot. But yeah, pretty awesome shop. I never really used it because by the time that this thing came open, I already had all the tools and whatever that I ever wanted, but still a pretty awesome shop for any newcomers or people who might have died or anything like that. And then over here, we have two of Crash's shops. Crash has at least 3 shops that I can think of. His witch hut shop, he was the first one to make he was first and only one to make a witch farm on the server. So I still come and use this. He went ahead and has some selling glowstone and selling redstone and all kinds of really cool stuff there that I came here especially for the glowstone. I always needed glowstone. I was always running out. And over here we have a slime shop. He built a slime farm and made a shop for it. You can see that there are some blocks, something like that over here. That was a pretty awesome shop if you ever needed slime blocks. I don't know. Anyways, this was, I don't actually know what the name of this was. Duke's End Shop? Okay, I always knew it as like just the End Shop. I know it was made by Duke. He sold things such as endstone bricks. He sold purple blocks. He sold, you know, end rods. I don't think he ever sold any of the other things because I think Jay had already claimed Elytra shop or something like that. But yeah, he sold a lot of the endstone brick and the purple and things like that here that you would get from the end, which was super duper awesome. And then we get to something that was made very early on in the season. This was actually made over by Pickles and Cheese Village and then moved over here. This is the community chest. We had the same thing in season 1 where essentially any of the items that you don't want, maybe you have, you know, 2 stacks of obsidian that you're obviously never going to use. So you go ahead and put it here in the community chest, and anybody at all on the server who needs something extra and wants to come look for something extra, maybe they need some lime terracotta, as it's called, or lime stained clay, as I will forever call it, you know. Maybe they need some of that, but they don't want to go out to the mesa. And maybe they only just need a little bit. They can come in here, they can look through all the chests and see if there's anything of value to them. Ooh, there's some blue concrete powder. Interesting. They can look through all this stuff and see if they need anything. That way they don't have to go around and search for it themselves. Now, let me actually go sleep, guys. It's getting pretty dark. I don't like doing these things in the dark. Here we are. So this was, I think, the mesa shop that Berlin made. He sold, stained clay and whatnot over here. Pretty cool. He brought the mesa to spawn, which is pretty cool to see. He had some stained clay over here and things to sell. 1 diamond per stack. Pretty good price right there. I don't know how much people actually bought from that, but it was a pretty cool place. And then down here is a little bit of a sneak peek. I think Duke built this when they built this little wall area, this little, I guess, retaining wall, whatever it's called. Still a few chests down here full of stuff. But this was has a little bit of a face in it. Yeah. A little bit of a face. I think this is an altar to Jesus, something like that. I think so. All out Jay's face, altar to Jesus. That makes sense. Pretty cool little thing. Pretty cool little Easter egg, I guess. Not really Easter egg, but little cool thing to find on the server. Whenever you're walking around the server and you come across a cave that has Jay's face in it, you know, it's gonna be pretty cool. And then over here we actually have something that's not a shop. This is the courthouse where a lot of the court cases we're gonna you know, happen and whatnot. Built by Blonde Skunk. This is a huge build, absolutely massive, absolutely looks amazing, looks super duper awesome. Love how this thing turned out. Love that chandelier. Oh man, this place looks awesome. Blonde Skunk's also the one that built is building the town hall up there, which as you can already see is looking pretty epic. But if we head on over this way, we'll get to the ye old abandoned fishing shack. So like I said earlier, Daniel had his own AFK fish farm, so he decided to open a shop where he sold like name tags and bows, fishing rods, and all kinds of stuff that you get that aren't books from the AFK fish farm. So I think he made a little bit from that. This right here is Shovel Co, made by the Mr. Hutchie. This was his service. Essentially, he would dig out a lot of places for you. You could hire him to completely clear a desert if you really wanted to. Be a pretty hefty price. But you can pay him to basically dig out whatever you needed. Is that what this says? Yeah, he offered land removal services and nature and beautification services. Okay, so a little bit different from season 1. He had this same business in season 1. That's why I already kind of knew about it. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Then we head on over to here. This was actually the radio station that Duke built, the AfterLife radio station, where the podcast and recap were going to be shot. I don't think that ever actually happened, but yeah. Who is future location? Yeah, lots of cool stuff that could have been up here. He actually did. He actually did finish this place. I didn't think he ever got to it, but I guess he did. So yeah, pretty cool. And before I forget about it, we'll head over to here. This was my mending shop. Basically, I just sold mending books. Nothing special there. This was Hutchie's flower shop. He sold flowers. Pretty cool. He also sold leaves, by the way, which sold out pretty quickly, as you can probably see. Everybody wanted leaves. This was Michael's Wool Emporium by Night Fox. He sold wool. Really like the design of this. It's a sheep head, but it has a bunch of leaves on top of it, and I think it just blends in really well, and he did a very good job with it. And then we come to another one of my shops. So I had 3 shops. I had the food shop, I had the mending shop, then I had the glass shop. This glass shop was the first shop I made. Basically, I sold regular glass and all different types of stained glass. We have, yellow and lime and all kinds of good stuff. I even had little anvils, free anvils for people to repair their tools and whatnot here. It's a little bit of an incentive to try to get people to stop by, but I think it worked. It might have worked. Not entirely certain. Now we're over here at I believe this is basically the subway station, where basically Duke was gonna build little subway areas to different places. They even had a downstairs area, but down here made out of quartz and diorite, which is a pretty interesting combination. But the goal was to basically connect all of the bases, I believe, or as many of the bases as he could to the spawn area through Minecraft. Now that never really happened because we just ended up using the Nether anyways, but still, it was a pretty cool idea. Now we have the 2 BBC shops. So BBC was Blonsky's building company. Basically, you could hire him to build stuff. I used this for when, I think my order might still be in here, actually. That's Duke. There we go. Yeah. I ended up ordering because I wanted 2 house designs for my, whatever you call it. I needed 2 house designs for my village, so I ended up using the BBC, and it worked out pretty well. He did an awesome job. A lot of you guys have already seen those designs. And then we have BBC building blocks, which Blonsky sold just various different building blocks in here. I think, yeah, it was supposed to open soon. And he had a few magma blocks, and he had clay, I think, and snow, and he had bone blocks in here for a while, which sold out pretty quickly from what I recall. So it's very good on him. Wood pineapple, basically Night Fox's shop where he sold wood. Pretty self-explanatory. This was originally called, I believe it was Logan's Log Shop or something like that, but because we gave tours to people and so many people always thought that this looked like a pineapple because of its shape, he renamed it to the Wood Pineapple, which was pretty cool. And then we have the AfterLife Post Office built by Dragonfrost. And this was a little bit of a post office. Every town needs their own post office, and he ended up building one for us, which is super cool. He put all of our mailboxes out and stuff like that, which was super nice of him to do. Now, I think that's it for the area. The pathway took a little bit of time. We weren't really sure if we wanted to have the same pathway as the residential area, but we ended up going with this pathway, and I think it looks a lot better than having the same pathway all around. I believe Blonsky came up with these light designs, I think. Pretty cool stuff going on right there. It makes the place look a whole lot more like an actual town than just a whole conglomeration of things. Then we head to probably the most used farm on the server, because we didn't get an Enderman farm until a little too late. But this is the skeleton farm that I use all the time to get bone blocks as its own enchantment area. There's a bat in here. What do you know? We have a whole bunch of stuff in here. This place is awesome. I forget who decorated it, but they did a fabulous job down there. I think Berlin decorated up top maybe, and someone else did it down below. I don't really remember, but I use that farm all the time because of the number of bone blocks I need. So it's pretty awesome. Otherwise, though, if you're looking for an XP farm, Enderman farm is the way to go. Definitely the Enderman farm is the way to go. And then actually, I think we have a few more things, but I guess we can go over here first before we head to the town hall. So This over here was supposed to be another pathway. We have some sort of chicken shop that was supposed to be here before. And if we head this way, this is an area that Duke spent a lot of his time on. We decided to have a little beach area over here. We chose when choosing the seed, we wanted an area that had a large lake, and then we had this sort of offshoot of what could have been made as a harbor over here. That Duke took it upon himself to make a little like beach resort area over here, which really turned out well. I'm very impressed with what he did here. He made some pretty cool little palm trees, and oh, it looks so awesome. And of course, in Duke style, he has his own little skyscraper thing right here. Is there an entrance? There's an entrance right here. There's a ladder. Actually, I can't. Yeah, I don't think he ever got the, whatever you call those, the minecarts in, but he did an awesome job with this area. This little like, I guess a kiddie pool right here, maybe. Beach chairs, lifeguard thing. Looks awesome, especially in the shaders. Just look at that. Look at that sunrise or sunset, sunrise, sunset over the water. It looks beautiful. Very much well done on Duke's part. And there's one last thing that I can think of that there is to see over here in spawn, and that is this, the town hall. Blonskunk's been working on this on and off for a little while now. He's done an absolutely fabulous job with it, and in the end, it's going to look superb. I've already seen some of the ideas he has behind it, and they are awesome. Just from this entrance, you can tell that this thing is gonna look fantastic when it's finished. Very well done on him. Very well done. But I believe that is it for the spawn tour. Now I want to head to a few of the bases. We'll just touch on a few. We'll touch on my own, some of the starter bases and stuff, and then we will end off the tour. So let me go ahead and head on over to, I believe, yeah, we're gonna head to Fort Duke first. I'll see you guys over there in a sec. Oh no, I almost forgot. Over here is Afterland. This is the AfterLife theme park area, originally started by Berlin River. He did an awesome job with the entrance right here. I don't think they ever got finished. He was doing a bunch of redstone stuff over here with the entrance to make it actually where you had to pay. You actually had to pay in order to get into here. Pathway and a remodel. A few games made over here. The Fryer. I never actually knew what some of this stuff was. Coming soon when park open. I assume this is something to do with fish. I don't really know. What was that? Was that a silverfish? Oh man. Over here was some sort of TNT game, I believe. Gonna open. Okay. Some sort of TNT game over here. Essentially what you would do is put a TNT in the water below, I believe. Or I never actually played any of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there were 3 levers. I guess someone would place TNT, and you put a lever on top, I think. And if you got it right, then yeah, you were awesome. And then over here is another one of the games that is still being worked on. And this is being worked on by Boom Bang Crash. He's working on a roller coaster that looks epic, looks awesome, looks absolutely fantastic. And then the last thing that's really over here is this area that we used for a Halloween skin competition. We had a little little stage for it that was built by, I think, Blonskunk again. But yeah, he did an absolutely fabulous job with this. Very happy with what he did there. But now, guys, finally, we're gonna go over to where Fort Duke is, and we'll start all the base tours. Psych! I actually forgot another really important place at this base, the Nether Hub. I haven't even been into the Nether today, so this is a bit weird. But yeah, here's the Nether Hub. It was originally built, well, at least the design was, by Blonskunk. Pretty cool area. We have the color-coded sections, the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow for different areas. This top floor has all the base tunnels. The bottom floor has all the regular tunnels to different places. You can see a few of the tunnels up here. If we actually head this way, this is my tunnel that heads to my base. It's themed for my base. Got a few. We have a bunch of unclaimed ones. I believe over here is Night Fox's. This goes to his enchanted tree village, which we'll go to later. And I think nothing else over here. This is Hutchie's. I believe this goes out to his Gothic Island. I don't know if he has one to Ironforge. Seaside, that is to not Blonskunks, the Boom Bang Crash's area. This is the Blonskunks. That was going to be to Blonskunk's castle. And I believe Night Fox has another one somewhere. Or somebody. No, Hutchie has one somewhere. Maybe it was over here? I don't quite recall. Maybe it was over here. Aha, here it was. Hutchie Ironforge. He never actually finished that tunnel, but he did get close to finishing it. And then down here we have this cool little fixture in the middle. I actually built this little fixture. Obviously, it wasn't my design, but I was on the end of building it, and it took a little while. It was a very intricate design that took a long while. So very happy that it came out okay. And then down here we don't have any tunnels really to other places except for, I think Crash has his down here. Yeah, I think this probably goes to his witch farm, I think. So he has this down here. But other than that, a lot of these tunnels never really got used. Is this one? Oh, we got a tunnel to Parrot Paradise. Okay, cool. I forgot about Parrot Paradise. We're not gonna go there, but essentially that was a place where we were going to. Blonde Skunk and I were gonna have a little parrot oasis in the jungle. So it was gonna be pretty cool. It's a nice little pathway. I think I did a video at the beginning of one of my in the beginning of a video of mine in the past 10 episodes or something. I show off Parrot Paradise, which is pretty darn cool. But that's really it for in here. I'm not going to go to such places like the Ender and stuff like that because they're pretty standard. It's a pretty standard Ender. So now, hopefully now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the base tours, the thing that we're supposed to have done by now. And here we are. So since we all decided not to really start on our main bases at the very beginning, Duke decided to do a bit of a mini base. Spawns over that way. You can see Afterland on the horizon over there. Duke decided to do a little bit of a mini base that he called Fort Duke over here. He built a little wall right here. He built a wall over there. He built a few tents and this basically crumbling tower right here, Fort Duke Keep. Basically that this was a fallen kingdom, I assume. And it was a pretty cool build. He did a fabulous job with this, and this was right before I think he went off and started doing a dwarven kingdom towards the end of his time on the server, but did an awesome job with this. I was very impressed to see how quickly this went up as well, because this went up within the first few episodes, within the first few weeks. I believe he had to work on this and basically finish this because he was going on a trip, I believe, towards the beginning of the season, so he had to finish this pretty quickly, but he did an awesome job with that. And then we can segue that into what's over here, and this is Mighty Mount Dragonfrost over here. I actually have no idea how to get inside of here, so do I have my Silk Touch? We're just gonna break the glass. Sorry. I actually have no idea how to get into here regularly. I think it's just through the Nether actually, which is a bit interesting. But he made a few things down here. He had a little bit of an extension right here. Did he have anything up here? Not entirely certain what this is. Yeah, pretty cool little room up here. He did a pretty nice job with this. Pretty cool looking place. Down here, I believe, is another portal. Yep. And then, did he put magma blocks behind that? Yeah, he did. Cool. Then he had a few crop farms in here. I'm not going to go through all these, not crop farms, but animal farms, sheep pens and whatnot. He had a dog right there. Dogs were pretty big at the very beginning. Yes, there's some crop farms right there. Head through here. All the way down, had a few chests along the sides. He started doing stuff with and whatnot. So pretty well done. Pretty cool little place right here by Mr. Dragonfrost. But guys, what we're going to next is some place that I've actually gotten in the past suggestions to go do quite often, or to go explore quite often, and that is over here. Yes, right here. You guys see it. This is Ironforge. This is Hutchie's village, where he did a lot of the original things, or his original village, essentially, his original base. Hutchie's pretty well known for doing villages, and he decided to make a village, so he added some statues. He has his little smelting area over here. He made this pretty cool little house design as well. It's kind of unique. I haven't seen houses like this used. I haven't seen this idea used that often, where you take a roof forest and you basically blend in. Okay. You basically blend in houses and things into the landscape of a dark oak roof forest. So it was a pretty cool concept. Of course, he has two dogs here, Pickles and Cheese. Why not? He also has a little, I think, storage system or something like that up down there. Let's actually head down here and see what he has. Boing. Boing. There we go. Yeah, this little thing right here, this leads into his slime farm, which is right there. This leads down then to over here, where if you go up, I believe this goes to a skeleton farm. Yeah, this is zombie farm, skeleton farm, something of the sort, with a little enchantment setup right there. One of the many things he did on the server. I believe Hutchie has over 50 episodes on the server, so he did a lot of things on the server. Go ahead and head back up. Here's a little minecart elevator. I love these things. I've used these before in different worlds and whatnot. Beautifully well done. Around here we have another house. This was the original house I think that I saw. Yeah, and in here was basically his starter village house, because he had a bunch of storage up here that he ended up taking out later on when he made a bigger storage area. Head through here. Now we go down. I believe it's over this way. Yeah, his nether portal is over there. Yeah, he built his nether portal right there. Beautifully well done. Down here is a few village houses and enchantment setup. Not too shabby, Hutch. Not too shabby. I've already seen a lot of this, of course, because I've watched a lot of the members on the server, a lot of the episodes. I don't remember necessarily everything, but I know right here is where he could put in, I don't know if it was a bunch of crops or just a bunch of stuff in general, and it would go down to his storage system. Let me head down here, a few more houses. We head back this way, a little bit of a fountain, which leads around to the church that he built. I believe he tried to do a little bit of lore for the area as well. He built a pretty nice looking church right here as well for the area, which I really did like. He blended it in quite well. And then we're about to head to my favorite part of this village. And that is, yeah, it's over here. Yeah, the market stalls. I think that this area just looks fantastic. It has a super cool purpose to it. And he just did an awesome job with it. Anything else down here? Look at the smelting setup down there. There's some village houses around here somewhere. Yeah, but that's pretty much all the major things that Hutchie did. He did a fabulous job. He did an absolutely fabulous job. Ooh, this is a different house design. Yeah, he started experimenting with different house designs, I believe, as well. He did a very awesome job with that. Beautifully well done. And of course, he had his village wall going around. You don't really need a village wall when you have all these trees that are basically your wall, but still, he did an absolutely awesome job with this. So guys, I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to end off the world tour over at my base. I know we haven't... Oh, that's right. I haven't gotten to the one place that I really wanted to go to. It's over here. It's not too far away. Let's head on over to Night Fox's tree and see what's going on over there. Here we are. Night Fox's tree. Looks wonderful, doesn't it? Can I... Oh, no. Oh, no. He had a little village around here as well. Can we get on top? Oh, no. I'm going to have to climb my way up then. But yeah, he has this tree right there. He has this little village area right here as well. A little bit of a gatehouse, bridge, gatehouse, all kinds of cool stuff over here. Yeah. Oh no, this is the stable. This is the stable. Okay. Yes, Night Shadow, his horse. That did very well. He has a pretty interesting style that he built right here as well. I very much like it. I think it fits in well with the theme he was going with. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the pathway that he used. I love a lot of things that he did with this area. Wow. And he built this little staircase right here inside the tree. This tree, by the way, is entirely man-made from what I recall. There was no real nature element, I guess. He didn't like plant a bunch of trees and have them all grow together. No. He did this all by himself, handmade, which is it's really cool. And here's his enchantment setup, so I guess that's what he used this tree for. Wow, that's one heck of a long staircase to get to some enchanting, but hey, why not? Why not? If you have the option, if you really want to do it, why not? So yeah, this tree is pretty cool. I remember when he was first starting to build this thing, it was just a stem. There were no village houses or anything. It was still looking awesome then, and I love the way that he finished this out. Anything else over here? We have a few more village houses. I believe up here, yeah, it's like a bigger house, and he has what looks like a stable area. Oh, the mine shaft and sheep farm. Oh, cool. So you can go through here, this glass right here, you can see all the way down. Wow, that's pretty cool. Didn't realize that this was a thing, but hey, it looks pretty darn awesome. Let me see if I can find a bed and sleep as well. There's probably be a bed in here, shouldn't there? Alright, so two more things actually I want to head on over to before I head on over to my base. And those are two things that are over here. This is Crash's little village base area over here with some absolutely fantastic builds. The size of these builds, well, at least this build, is incredible. He did a fantastic job with this. few little houses over here as well. Nice little landscaping done here. He did an awesome job. He did a really awesome job. You can just see all the work and detail that went into this. I think that house isn't quite finished yet. But yeah, of course, he's probably working on that. He did a lot of things over here. What is this? Dragonfrost, leaving little notes. And this over here is where Crash actually started. So Crash is basically the newest member of the server. He came well into season 2 and built just magnificent structures around here. Over here is where he actually started. He had this little like cliff face area over here though, which was pretty cool. Not sure what that is, but that's pretty awesome. Head over here. It's always fun doing this world tour as well because I get to see things that I'd never seen before. Is this water? It is water. I don't want to go down there. No, I don't want to go down there. But then up here, yeah, we head up here. Yeah, he actually started all of his crops and stuff over here. You can see how he originally started this with chests, and he had an AFK Fisher down there as well. Of course, it's all abandoned now. And of course, he has his crash cave as well. But if you want to see Boom Bang Crashes, all the stuff that he's done, he is still a member of the server, and he has a ton of episodes on the server. So if you guys want to go check him out, highly suggest that you do. Super awesome time. Is that a llama? Llama! But now we're heading to the last thing before I go to my base. And that is, first off, why the heck are there villagers over here? Oh no. And then second off, what I still title as, I think, the best build on the server. Crash has done an awesome job. Night Fox's place was beautiful, and Duke and Hutchie and all of them. But this, to me, is just a spectacular concept. He has a little waterfall over there. This, if you guys don't know what this is, I think by now you probably do. This is Skunkerton Castle. This is Blonde Skunk's castle, whatever you want to call it, where the famous battle for Skunkerton Castle happened. And let me tell you, this place is awesome. Let's actually go ahead, head up here, and thanks for watching, for visiting. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that he had that sign there. It's been there forever though, I think. Actually head up here. You get an absolutely beautiful view of the area if you go up here. Let's head to the top of this flag. Look at this place. Look at this place. Go. Man, oh man. Awesome view. Look at this place. Well done. Beautiful, beautiful build by Blonde Skunk. He is known as the master builder on the server for a reason, and he did an absolutely fabulous job with this area. But guys, that's going to be it for the base tours, except for my own. We're going to end off this world tour with a base tour of my own. And obviously, there are plenty of other things around the server. So if you want to check out everything that's happened on the server, I suggest check out the other members, past and present, on the server, because they all have done some fabulous things in their episodes, and I highly suggest checking all of them out in the episodes that they've done. But yeah, guys, let me actually grab some fireworks real quick, and we'll head on over to my base to finish this world tour off. And here we are, folks. For a lot of you guys, this is a pretty familiar sight. I've worked a lot on this base in the past, well, forever. And for the most part, this place is pretty much done, I would say. There's a lot of things I could do. I could work on more villagers, a lot of other places, but there's a lot of things that I've done a lot of things in this world and in this base and whatnot. And I'm pretty proud of it. But let's go ahead and kind of understand why I came over here. So the reason I came over to this part, I was looking for an oak forest. I wanted some green grass, all kinds of stuff to start a base. And the idea behind this base was this, and it never really fully got implemented, but the top would be an actual village where villagers would live, they would prosper, they would, do whatever. And underground was supposed to be the real base, the super high flying base full of villager breeding and automation and just a beautiful cavern full of awesomeness. And that never really happened, but we did get a lot of stuff done. So let's start over here. That over there was supposed to be a villager breeder, but then we have this village area over here where we have a whole bunch of villagers. I did have a villager breeder right here that I tore down because I needed to organize a lot of these stuff, and I didn't want to have the villager breeder that close to where the village was gonna be. So that's kind of what happened over here. Oh, and by the way, before I go any further with this village stuff, I'm not gonna tour it, but over here, I was actually neighbors with somebody. So Hutchie's village is over there, and this was Berlin's tree that he was doing over here, which is pretty cool to find that I was so close to Berlin when we had no idea. Obviously, I started my base before his, but we had no idea that we were this close. So it was pretty awesome having a neighbor. But then we have these village house designs. This design and that design are basically the same design. This one is just shorter, basically. And I came up with these pretty early on. The goal behind this was to use birch and bone blocks. Those were the two things that I wanted to use. I know a lot of people hate birch, but I thought I did pretty all right. Then over here we have lookout towers. So I built these pretty recently. This is one of the two. You can see the other one right there. This is one of the two things that I built on the server in this base. One of the two lookout towers, and you can get a pretty good view. You can get a pretty awesome view of the area. I was pretty stoked when I first built this because I thought that it looked pretty awesome and fit in very, very well with the rest of the area. So go ahead, head on now down to the actual village, which has this pretty cool little staircase coming down to a few of the designs. So another thing about this village is that not all of the designs are my own. This design right here, I had two other village house designs done for me by Blonde Skunk as part of a payment to the BBC, because I couldn't really think of any variations in house designs, and I wanted more variation in the sort of the textures and the house designs that you see around here. So I paid him to build this design, and I also paid him to build, actually I never did the interior on that one. I also paid him to build this design, which is the much larger design, but worked out pretty well. BBC design number 2, L shape, and that was the A-frame, I believe. So pretty well done, pretty awesome. I also decided, by the way, guys, to go with this. A lot of people ask me why I decided to go with diorite in the pathway. I just thought it worked in pretty well. I know a lot of people hate diorite, and that's a lot of the reason because, you know, there are big YouTubers out there that hate diorite. So a lot of people hate diorite in return. Some people have actual criticisms of it, but a lot of people hate it simply because, you know, for instance, Iskall doesn't like it. But I think diorite, when used correctly, same as birch, can be used quite well, quite effectively in places that people will very much enjoy it. So that's why I use diorite, and I think it turned out pretty well in the end. This is the Nether portal. I didn't do much with that. Still a few chests around here. I planted a bunch of trees as well to kind of intertwine, something like that, the nature with the house, and I think it turned out pretty well. Our to-do list right here, still a few things on there to do. A bunch of houses over here, another lookout tower. And this, I mentioned this an episode or two ago, but this is my favorite part of the entire base right here. This spot with this tower and the trees and the fountain that I made, I think that this looks pretty darn awesome. I'm pretty proud of it. Head over here. I still haven't done this one. I have this house design right here, but if a campfire Blonde Skunk made, some other villager areas when I originally brought villagers from the villager breeder over here and whatnot. Then we have a bit of a pond down here. My mending villagers, which became very well known because people could use them for free until I had my mending shop. My mending villagers that are right here. This guy has a 10 emerald mending trade, which is pretty darn awesome. Pretty darn cool to see. And yeah, I think that's it for the village area. Let me actually sleep, and then we'll go ahead and show you guys the second part of the base, because the top part of the base is divided into two parts, right? There's a village, and then there is a farm area where we have cows and pigs, and we're supposed to be sheep, but then they all died, and we have crop farms and all kinds of good stuff. So we head on over here. And a lot of this farm area is what's happened in the past 5 episodes or so. This is basically what I've done. I guess 5 to 10 episodes. The first thing I built was this cow farm over here. Just a regular cow pen, nothing major here. I've kept on breeding these guys. Pretty cool little fence design as well with the Tumbo blocks and the birch slab on top. Not too shabby, I'd say. Pretty happy with that. Down there, we have our sheep farm. As you can see, this is a fairly new addition to the area. I never really bred up the sheep too much, but, you know, is what it is. You can see a few of the sheep here and there. Any of them get out? Why is there only one sheep? Where'd all the sheep go? There's a horse right there. There's 2 sheep. What happened to all the sheep? What? I don't know where all my sheep went. Oh, there they are. Okay. There's 4. There should be 4. Is how many that there should be. So we'd have all 4 of our sheep. Then over here I have a bit of a wheat field. That was intended for the farming area. Obviously on a farm, you're gonna have a lot of crops. So I have this farm area right here. I also, to the right, if you can see that, I have a barn. I have 2 barns in this farm area. I have this one over here that is for wheat storage, and I have one over there that we'll see later on that is for carrot and potato storage. As you can see, wheat and seeds, I guess, and all that good stuff, and a bunch of wheat over here. Now we head on over to the right over here. This goes to our pig pen. Very, very large pig pen. Probably too large. Should probably be smaller, but yeah, very large pig pen over here with a makeshift pathway with stone bricks marking off the pathway over to our storage tower. I originally intended this to be like a lookout tower, but it just ended up being a storage tower, so I haven't used this at all, but we have plenty of space for storage for like carrots, potatoes, and wheat and whatnot. Bulk storage, that is, that I can't fit in the barns and whatnot. Some potatoes going in right here. Different little pathway going on here as well. Added in some concrete powder and some coarse dirt. I think that fits in pretty well for a barn farm thing kind of thing. Yeah, that thing. I think it turned out pretty well. Pretty happy with that. And then the last true build of the area on top here is our AFK fish farm. We go inside of here. Here's my AFK fish farm. Oh, there it is. The fishing rod's in there. Then we have a little dock which goes this way. So yeah, that's it for what's on top of this base area. And we'll quickly head on over to what's down below. Now, like I said earlier, I kind of failed with this whole base. Now, it looks great on top. It looks absolutely wonderful on top. But the main base was supposed to be underground, and that never really happened. If we head down here, I started on it, but I never really finished it. If we head down here, yeah, we head down here. Pretty cool looking place. I moved all my auto smelting down here. A bit of a chest area over here. I started, this over here was gonna be a automatic chest storage area. Never really got around to that. Did get around to doing a lot of this though. I think I got a viewer submission actually that said, hey, you should make the sides of your little platform right here like this. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, the goal for this whole underground area was to have different sections. So automatic farms that way, automatic farms that way, miscellaneous that way. Yeah, miscellaneous that way. And then this was going to be storage over this way and kind of connect them all together. Have plenty of room to have a sugarcane farm and automatic crop farms and all kinds of stuff like that. But that never really ever got finished. Same thing with this middle room. The idea was to kind of drop down here from up here and be right in the middle of all the farms and stuff and have a decorated ceiling and all of that. But I never really got around to that. So, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. I think in the end, focusing on what's on top here, making this look beautiful, turned out to be better in the end. So I'm pretty happy with that. But guys, that is it for the tour. Pretty awesome little tour, I think. I don't know how long this tour is gonna be. It might be an hour long. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but it may be a long tour. There's a lot of things that we went through, and I wanted to go through as many things as possible, because obviously I didn't touch on everything that there is on the server. There are still plenty more things that happen on the server that I didn't catch in this world tour. So like I said earlier, be sure to check out other AfterLife members. The links to the current AfterLife members are down in the description, as well as be sure to check out even former AfterLife members of this season. They built some incredible stuff. People like Daniel Ludis, Berlin River, people like that. Duke, who spent a lot of time. Hutchie spent a lot of time on the server, doing a lot of things on the server. And they made some awesome videos on it as well. So definitely check them out. Won't have links to them, but I'm sure you can find them somewhere or another if you go back through my AfterLife SMP Season 2 playlist. But guys, that is it for the world tour. I hope you all enjoyed. I very much enjoyed this. It was fun reminiscing, looking back on old times, looking back on all the things that have happened in Season 2 thus far. And I look forward to seeing what else there may be on the server in the future. But like I said, guys, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead, smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and or not already subscribed. Also, if you know anybody who might like this world tour, who might want to see and reminisce on things in the past, things that we've seen on the server in the past, I highly recommend you guys sharing this with those people so they can come along on the adventure and come along with us as we look at different builds and whatnot. But guys, until next time, take care, and I'll see you later.